Welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video, and inside today's video, we're talking about the most hated player in Marvel Rivals. In case you've recently been living under a rock, there's been this pretty popular Twitch streamer by the name of Necros recently who's been getting a lot of hate from the Marvel Rivals community because he kind of had this popular clip go around of him saying that he hates support players and how they're so dumb and stuff. Now, there's a few things about this clip that you should definitely know before making your judgments about Necros. This clip takes place in Season 1 of Marvel Rivals, back when the triple healer was the meta and stuff like that, and when, the best healer in the game was like Cloak and Dagger and stuff like that, really easy characters to play. So what he's referencing there is, the current status of Marvel Rivals during Season 1, before all the changes that Season 1.5 and Season 2 actually dropped. So now that you know a little bit more context about that, I'm going to show the clip that, has gotten kind of popular about Necros, kind of trash talking support players in Marvel Rivals and stuff like that.
This is why I hate support players, guys. I hate support players because they are literally allergic to good takes. They're just morons. They're idiots, and I hate them. I hate them. They never have any good takes. It's exactly what ruined Overwatch. Why is Overwatch? Because it's just dominated by supports. It's because Blizzard caved in and listened to fucking Redditors. The entire game boils down to who has the better support player. If your backline is stupid, you lose.
I mean, if you saw that out of context, I wouldn't like the guy either, but there's more to this. Now, Necros has responded to this actual clip. He's made an entire video about it actually, but there is a clip of him responding to this actual clip that got a lot of negative feedback from the Marvel Rivals community. So to kind of, explain his side of things, his side of the story, I'll let that clip play too.
Apologize to the boosted support mains. I mean, I just think it's kind of funny how they're trying to pretend like a support shortage is like a new problem in lower elos when it's always been a problem. There's always been a lack of supports. And you know what's also like really cringe, by the way, guys? I'll mention this again later, but it's kind of cringe how they took an out of context clip from like season 1 pretty much, when you guys remember the first half of season 1 when triple support was like super rampant and like every single support was insane, and the strongest support in the game was Cloak and Dagger. You guys remember that? Yeah, they took a clip out of context from that season where I'm saying that support is brain dead when I mean, it kind of really was, because like the strongest healers were like it was Cloak and Dagger and Luna Snow, and both of those heroes are very simple to play, right? And that's why I said like that role is easy, because it's true. I mean, it's even easy now, except now they're trying to like gaslight people into thinking that dive is like a serious problem that's like so uncounterable, and every time a dive comp is selected, that you instantly lose the game and you can't do anything, and dive is OP, and nerf Spider-Man and nerf Iron Fist and nerf Cap, like all the good stuff.
So he low-key doubles down, but as you guys can see, he kind of provides reasoning for what and why he said all those things. It doesn't seem like his opinion has changed very much, but you can kind of, understand it from his point of view. Now, going back to the Season 1 clip, ever since that clip actually has gotten popular recently, and Necros has gotten more popular as a streamer recently, it seems that players inside of Marvel Rivals have been going on a quote-unquote support strike. Basically, people who would play support all the time are not playing support anymore. And to be honest with you, Necros talks about this inside his, clip where he responds to the old clip, saying that there's always been a support shortage, which, I can somewhat agree with, but I feel like in most matches of Marvel Rivals, most people play supports because if we don't have supports, we lose. So it's kind of, I don't know if you can really say that, but let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions. Most of the games I play in Marvel Rivals are, usually with healers and stuff like that, but there are, a few key games that never really has healer and are like mainly DPS or like, but this whole situation with Necros has kind of been like the recent like community event that's been happening inside of Marvel Rivals very recently. The clip was recently taken out of context recently, the response was pretty recent, everything about the whole Necro situation and him hating supports and stuff like that was pretty recent as well. And honestly, that's really the gist of this entire situation. I don't really know if people are, continuing this support strike any longer because low-key the game kind of needs supports to play or else like the entire team loses. But honestly, as a Spider-Man main, I feel like you can't really talk, you can't really say supports suck. Flying everywhere throughout the map, you get out of battles in milliseconds if you know how to swing correctly. In my opinion, I know that there are bad supports and there are good supports, but you gotta cut support some slack. They're doing the job. They're doing God's work. They're doing the job most people don't want. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Now, I feel like Marvel Rivals had a response to this because they recently posted a developer talk, which I've talked about inside a recent video, talking about like buffs and nerfs that are happening to characters and stuff like that. And they talk about them buffing supports. And they nerfed Spider-Man, you know, the character that Necros plays and stuff like that. So, you know, if you want to call it coincidence, I guess you can. To most people like me who are superstitious, I think Marvel Rivals did this as a direct result of this entire situation. Honestly, good on the developers for that, because they listen and they hawk eye their community. Overwatch developers would see this happening and they wouldn't do shit about it. Anyways, though, that's kind of just the entire situation, and I wanted to keep you guys up to date on it. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down inside the comments below, and I'll catch you guys inside the next one. Peace!